the number 3.14063, written correct to 3 decimal places. All right, so as you can see, the third decimal place, so I'm gonna write this figure so we could have a visual. So you could see that this is the third spot, and the number to the right is a 6, so the spot will go up by 1. So if you add 1 to the 0, you'll get 1. So we're looking for this. So as you can see, these questions, to me, they are very simple. You just have to try not to make any error, right? All right, let's continue. We see this one some time ago. It says express 0.12 as a fraction in its lowest form. I think I did this sometime, I don't remember. So this is gonna be 12 over 100. So you wanna represent 0.12. If you're not sure, the number of digits behind the point tell the amount of zeros you would be using. So because we have 2 places of decimal, we will be using 2 zeros, and it's always a 1 at the front. All right, so if you don't see this answer, what you want to do is you want to break down your answer in another form to see if it is there. So let us see, what do we have? We're talking about dividing 4 into the 12, that's 3. 4 into the 100, that's 25. So we're seeing 3 over 25 right there for the answer. All right, let's go up and down. So we're at number 3. Number 3 says, in scientific notation, 170.04 is written as what? So the main frame is to understand scientific notation. In scientific notation, the decimal point must come after the first digit that is not a 0. And we're talking about from left to right. So I'm expecting the point to be between the 1 and the 7, and you would have written back everything else. And then it's gonna say times 10. And then we figure out what power of 10 will go here. At the same time, there are some answers that cannot be. This is not standard form. This is not standard form. So if you take a quick notice of all your multiple choice questions, there are 2 answers that are way off, and then they'll have you deciding between another 2. So then let us check to see how many places did that point moved. So it actually moved 2 places, all right? So you could say that it moved 2 places. Let me mute you. Somebody's playing something. All right, good. So it moved 2 places. So this is gonna be to the power of 2. But your 2 could be positive, it could be negative. So what you wanna do is to remember that if the original number is a number greater than 1 or equal to 1, it's a positive power. So in this case, this is positive because we were dealing with 170. So I'm looking for this as my answer, right? So you have to be very careful as you go forward. Also, if you move your decimal point from right to left, it's positive. So people kind of use that, but you have to use whatever you remember. Number 4, so it says there are 40 students in a class, right? 40 students in a class. Girls make up 60, and 25% of the girls wear glasses. How many girls in the class wear glasses? So first, you want to work out how many are girls. So we're talking about 60% of 40. So you take your time, 0 cancel 0, that cancel that. So 6 4s at the top will give you 24 girls. Additional information suggests that 25% wear glasses. So 25% can be written as a quarter. 25% means that you divide something by 4. So we're able to do that. So we'll get a 6. So the question did ask how many wear glasses. It's gonna be 6. Straightforward, very simple. What we have to do is just to relax and go through, right? Continue, number 5, and then we go up to 6. Number 5 says, if 560 is shared in the ratio 2 to 3 to 9, then the difference between the largest and the smallest share is what? So we want to take the time out to find out the smallest and the largest. So if you should be adding the 2 plus the 3 plus the 9, we will get a total of 14 parts. So we're going to take our time. So 14 parts is equal to the 560. All right, no rush. All right, so one part, I'm still doing this. One part is going to equal to the 560. We want to divide that by 14. And they did use a nice number, right? So it depends. If you don't know, you break it down little by little, you probably could use 7. You could use 14, but you probably could use 7. But all in all, 14 into itself 1, 14 into 56 will give you 4 and a 0. So the 14 into the 540 will give you 560 will give you 40. So you do that. So now 40 is for 1. So you want to work out the smallest, right? So the smallest, as you could see, will be 2 times 40, and that's 80. The largest will be 9 times 40, and that's going to give us 360. So the difference means to subtract. So you want to subtract these 2, all right? And I'm seeing about 280. So the thing is, if you're not looking, you're going to mess up, because you notice the 80 is there and the 360 is there, but it's what the question is asking for. The difference between the 2, you take your time and you work your way up. Let's go to number 6. It says 60% of a number is 90. What is the number? You can work this a number of ways, right? Now, as I said to you, if I know that 60% of, so what we're saying, 60% of something. So if you're using algebra, you could say 60% of x is 90. What is x? So I'm gonna help you to understand. This is the long way, right? So from the long way, you could break down the left side. You could cancel some little stuff. You could break it down more. I'm saying when you see things, so you could break it down. You could break it on the left side, right? So you could break down that left side there. So at the end of the day, x would simply be to multiply the 90 by the 5, and then after that, you divide by 3. So if that's the way you do it, that's fine. All right. So I'm seeing about 150, because 3 into itself 1, 3 into that was 30, 30 times 5, and that's 150. All right. So you could do that. Let me show you a little trick. If you know the percentage amount and you have it as a fraction, and it is equal to some number, and the number is 90. Now, if 60% is 90, and the intention is to find the original thing, if you reciprocate the fraction, so in this case, here's a quick way: 100 over 60 times the thing. It always works back, right? So in this case, you could see this cancel. 3 into that goes 2, 3 into that goes 30, 2 into this 1, 2 into this 5. So you still can get that 150. Remember, there are many ways you can approach it. But if you know the fraction of any number and you want to find the original number, reciprocate your fraction and multiply it by the number, and it will give you the original thing. So that's just a little edge I'm giving you there. Additional information so you could go easier. All right, the first 3 common multiples of 3, 4, and 6. You notice I said the first 3 common multiples. So you could write down these, right? Multiples of 3 start at 3, then 6. You keep adding the same number, adding 3, adding 3, adding 3, adding 3, and it goes on and on, right? Then 4, add 4, 4, add 4, add 4, All right, so I'm just saying, you keep adding, you're adding. Let me write 6, add 6, add 6, add 6, add 6, and it goes on. So they want the first 3 common multiple first. So you're looking for the smallest of them all. So in this case, you're noticing that 12, 12, 12, and you're seeing 24, 24, 24. All right. So then when I look at my list, I will just pick A because currently I don't see any 12, any 12 and 24. I don't see the 24 here. So this is the only one that has the 12 and the 24. So I know that if I continue, I'll get the 36. So you don't necessarily need to prove it. The moment you're not seeing certain things, you can eliminate. And then remember, it's a multiple choice, which means that the correct answer is there. Definitely you're going to see it. All right. All right, number 8. Number 8. All right, let's go. The number 301 can be written as. You want to check all of these to see which one of these still give 301. I'm seeing 301 at the front already. This is 301. All right, because this is 100 times 3 plus 1. So this is correct. That means this can't be correct, and it means this can't be correct, and this can't be correct because so with the multiple choice, you see your first answer, it's at A right now. You don't need to be checking B, C, and D because they will not be correct unless they have multiple answers and you're picking more than one, and the question would have told you that. All right, so number 9, it says the value of 5 in the digit 537. I think I saw this question in some other paper. I saw it in as 07 paper, and this is 012. The 5 is 500 because it's a whole number. It's not a decimal number. So it's a 500. So this is it, literally. Because if you try to actually call the figure, you would say 537. So you're realizing that, okay. This question, I don't think they ever leave this question off any one of the papers.
D.
We see this every single time.
Sure,
right?
every paper term.
So we factorize, you can quickly factorize out. I'm just giving you the principle again. Factorize out the 49 and you'll get 17. Factorize out that, you get plus 3, which means you'll get 49 times 20, and the answer is B. Many of us would have known the answer already because this question comes every time. All right. Now
Sir,
it says, yes, sir. Go ahead, come on.
I will not forget that. I will not forget that question, sir.
Oh, as in you have seen it so many times, huh?
Yes, sir.
In which of the following sets is defined by, and what do they mean here? I'm going to re-explain so that you don't feel weird, because a lot of times when people see this, they tend to feel weird. Now, what are these symbols? These are just inequalities. So if the pointed part points to you, you say less than. So what I'm going to write now, x is less than or equal to 4. The same x is greater. When it opens to where you're at, you say greater. So x is now greater or equal to -1, -2. So you want to look for those to see which one of those. And this z here refers to an integer, meaning it's a negative or positive number without decimal, without fraction. So you're moving from -2 all the way to 4. Here is the answer. All right, number 12. In a class of 32 students, 17 study music and 20 study art. What is the least number of students? What is the least number of students who are studying both? The thing is, they gave you a total, 32. Now, what you want to do is you're gonna, so we have the union. And this question that they ask here, both is the intersection. All right. So the last time I gave you a formula, I believe, was maybe on the YouTube live yesterday. I gave you a formula. It is the same thing that they're asking, but they're not really utilizing the set language. So, but when you look, if you have 32 in the class and 20 is for music, plus 17 is for art. So this is music and this is art. When you add this, you realize you get,
Sir, 17 for
Sorry, I
art.
make a mistake. 5, sir.
17
yeah,
for
man.
music and 20 for art.
Yeah, man. All right. That's all right. That can go. But
Sir,
we have
answer
37.
5.
Yeah, the answer will be 5. So basically, you're dealing with 37. So what we're saying is you're going to compare the 32 here, because they did say it is actually 32 students in the class. So now you're realizing that you get, when you add the art and the music, you're getting 37. So in other words, then something is overlapping. So you want to take that. So you'll see that there's 5 overlapping, and that is why you end up with that. All right. So this is the same principle where let us say M union, let me give it the next way, M union A is equal to the number in A plus the number in M minus the intersection. It's the same formula, because you would have gotten 32 here is equal to 20 plus 17. Check it out. 32 is equal to 37. We're saying it's the same thing. So this is what you want to find. Both will be the intersect. But if you notice, it's a negative on this side. So imagine that you bring it over here and then bring the 32 over here. So you could see it's the same math you're doing here, right there. You'll get your 5. All right. Item 37. So item 13, which of the following sets is empty? Empty set. Now you wanna look. Prime numbers, odd numbers, even numbers. Which of the following set is empty? You want to look at what they're saying. The intersection of P and R. So you're talking about prime numbers and even numbers. That's not empty. As long as I can identify one thing that fits in it, it's fine. Because if you look, the only even number that is prime is 2. So 2 is a part of even and 2 is a part of prime. So it's not empty. So this is not the answer. Q intersect R. So Q is odd number. R is even. Think about it. Is there any odd number that is even? No. So you won't get anything. You'll get an empty set for this, because there is no odd number that is even. So the answer is B. All right, we know that. So I'm not going to check the others, because I can't find any odd number that would be an even number. 14. 14 refers to the Venn diagram. So it says in the Venn diagram, the number of elements, so this means the number of elements in P is 5, the number of elements in Q. This is the same math we're looking at up top. So all you have to do is to set up this. The number of elements, hold on, let me put it underneath here. The number of elements in P intersect Q is gonna equal 2. The number in P, that's 5, plus the number in Q, that's 9, minus the union, 10. So that's the like 4. 14 minus 10, 4. So you start to see the pattern, all right? So that normally they would ask this or that. Remember the general formula though, All right, so you could work out your thing as you go. Let's go to 15 up top. All right, question 15 says, address costs 180. We have seen this question more than one time now. Address costs $180 is being sold at a discount of 10. The amount of the discount is, we're talking about the discount. As I say to you, if you want to know 10% of anything, drop a zero off. So the discount is $18 without working. Let me go again. 10% is simply to drop the zero off from the back all the time, right? So you don't have to work it out, because if you do, you're gonna end up the same thing. All right. Number 16 says a man annual salary is 45,000 is tax-free allowance total to 13,000. Okay. He has to pay income tax of 35%. All right. So, all right, good. So what you want to do is to put things into context. Tax-free. So you want to take that out. When they talk about tax-free, it's a part of the money that cannot be taxed. So you want to make sure you separate it. So if you take that from it, I think you're going to get 32,000. So you can't tax what we're taking out here. You can't tax that. So you subtract it. So we are able to tax the remainder. We can tax $32,000. Now, it's 35% of it, whichever way you want to work it out, you're fine. All right, so let us say, let me put it here. So we're talking about 32,000. A lot of people could say, all right, let's work out 35% of that, whichever way. 200 could cancel 2. Now you're left with a multiplication. You are on your own to do this. So I can't teach you how to multiply at this level. So you do that, carry out a multiplication. 320 times 35, you're gonna get about 11,200, right? Now, so that would be the answer right there. So you're seeing 11,200 here, right? Now, what if you wanted to do it another way? If I have 32,000, I'm just saying, there are some people who work, so I'm just giving away, it doesn't matter. Now, I could know that if I drop a zero off, that's 10%. So this is 10% already. And then if this is 10 more percent, that's 20. This is 10 more, that's 30%. And half of this, right, is 1,600. That's 35%. This is 10%, 10 again, 10. Half of 10 is 5, 35. I'm saying people do this. So when you add up everything, 0, 0, see there, you're getting back 11,200 just the same. Math works. Mathematics work. So it's all about how you understand your thing, do what you have to do, and you still get it, because you're still seeing 35% right there, or you're seeing it right there, one shot, one go. Work what best works for you and go. Number 6, 70. We see this question about 5 times now. Here it is again. The answer is $2.50. This question has been coming. Trinidad and Tobago, $6 is $1 US. If you find yourself with 15 Trinidad money, how much US? You want to divide it by 6, and you'll get 6 into 12, 2 times remainder 3. 3 over 6 is a half. So $2.50. All right, let's go to the next one. It says here, 7,000 is borrowed at an interest rate of 5% per annum for 3 years. All right. The simple interest is what? You can do this a number of ways. You could set up the simple interest formula. So we're talking 7,000, 5%, 3 years. Let's go. So Interest is principal times rate times time over 100. That's one way. So it simply means then the 7,000 times the 5 times the 3 over 100, and this will take you to the answer. These zeros here would cancel these. So you're looking at 15 times 70, right? Or you want to look at 350 times 5 times 3. 70 times 5, that's 350 times 3. Do your thing. Do your thing. And you get 1,050. All right. Or another way you could have done that is to understand that if I have 7,000, 10% is 700. So if I do this right now, that's 10%, which means if I divide it by 2, I'll get 5%. All right, which is 350. So even without calculating any formula, that's 5%. And this is for 1 year. And I'm going to go for 3 years. Or you want to do this. So you do it 3 times. Doesn't matter. You're going to get the same answer. So as I said, it's up to you, depending on how you feel in the exam, right? It could work. All right. So here we go. Number, where am I? We're at number 18. Number 18. Let's see what number 18 says. No, we just did 18. So I'm thinking we're going to 19. That's 18. Let's take a look at 19. How much does a customer pay for an article marked at $50 if a sales tax of 6% is charged? All right. So it's up to you. I could help you to reason this out, as well as we could work it out to get the definite answer. I'm going to show you some little tricks right now, right? All right, so you could think about the answer. Think about what you want to suggest as the answer. All right, so let's go. One of the ways you could look at this is to understand that they're saying that they're going to be adding some sales tax of 6%. They set these exams with the premise of a 10% for you to understand it. So 10% of 50 is $5. So if 10% is $5, right? $5. Hold on. Let me take off that. So 10% is $5. If I add that to the 50, if 10% was there, it would have been $55. And we're talking about 10% would have been $55. So it simply means that it cannot be 56, because 10% is 55 and we're not even reach 10%. So it cannot be 56 and it cannot be less than 50. This is out, that is out. I don't work it yet, but the answer by elimination is suggesting that, hey, the answer is 53, because you utilize a certain concept that I know that they're resting on. So if you mark your 10%, you would have understood that 10% would have given me $55 overall. That means I can't use anything greater. But at the same time, if I'm gonna add some tax to $50, it can't be less. So you could see 3 answers disappear, right? And the answer is 53. Now, the long way to work it, if you're not seeing those, then you want to find 6% of 50, of which I don't want to do this in a multiple choice exam. So you'd have to be canceling a lot, like 0 cancel 0, not seeing anything yet, but you still could go, still can go, yeah? Put yourself 1, 3, bam, $3. And you said, okay, 50 plus 3, you get your 53. So it works. You understand? It still works. Work your magic. Understand? Whichever way that works for you, use it. Let's go again. Number 20. So number 20 says here. Number 20 says, Tracy bought a pen for $60 and sold it to gain 20%, right? Sold it to gain 20%. Now, how much money did she gain? Watch this, gain. She's gonna gain 20%. What is 20% of 60? You see this question the second time. Well, you could do it a number of ways. You could say, well, if it is 60, 10% is 6, right? That means 20% is 12. So that's what they're gonna get, $12. Or if you don't want to do that, you could simply say 20% of 60. Regular way. This cancel that. This cancel that. 2 6s. 12. Still get the answer. Up to you. Do what you love. Number 21. A salesman is paid 5%. You do notice the percentage that they're using. They're using anything related to 10. So it could be a factor of 10 or multiple, but they're going to be using those. All right. Are things related. So a salesman is paid 5%, all right, of his commission, of his sales as commission. His sales for the month was 2020. How much? Again, I'm just going to employ my quick percentage because 5%, if I drop off a 0, that's 10%. And if I divide 10% by 2, I'll get 5. 1, 0, 1. Reasoning. Now, on the other hand, you could do this. 5% times. This cancel that. This into that 1. This into that 2. See where it is now, right there. 2 into yourself 1. 2 into that 1, 0, 1. And you pick your answer, just the same. So get your answer out. Doesn't matter how you get it. Take your time, get your answer out. You're able to come up with the solutions. 22. A loan of 8,000 was paid back in 2 years in monthly payment of 400. The percentage increase on the loan was. Now, in order to do this, you need to know. So there was a $8,000, but it was paid back in 2 years monthly. So you want to know how many months in 2 years? 24. So basically then you're suggesting that we paid 24 payments of 400. You want to find out what that total is. 24, that looks like 960. I'm seeing a 9,600 by looking at that. So that means the person actually paid back 9,600. Now, you want to know what the interest on that loan is. You take away what you got the loan for. So there is a 1,600 extra. That's the interest. Now, put it into perspective. There are 2 ways you could do this. When I look at this number, see, I already set it up nicely. Because if I drop off this 0, I'm seeing 10%. And if I double that, I'm seeing 1,006. I'm seeing that the answer is 20% right now. You understand? Because it's conditional to what you got. So they did set it up properly. You drop off the 0 and you're getting that 10% and you see that it doubles. So the answer is 20%. Now, the next way you could have worked it is after you have found 1,600, you want to put 1,600 over what you had and then multiply this by 100. So you could see these 2 zeros cancel 2, this cancel 1, and then 8 into itself 1, 8 into 16 2, 8 into 0 0, and we do get 20 just the same. So you're seeing where we have many routes to produce the answers, and we're suggesting that do not get them incorrect because you don't need to. All right, we saw this question already. It says if R asterisk S is S to the R. Then 3 asterisk 2 is what? Look at the substitution, right? You want to look at the substitution. R is now 3, S is now 2. How did I do that? I picked them in terms of how the idea appeared. There's an R at the front, asterisk S. So then there's a 3 at the front, asterisk 2. So that means the R, I'm saying R is 3 and S is 2. Substitute it there. S to the R, 2 to the 3. What does that mean? 2 times 2 times 2, 8. So our answer is 8. So there it is. You take your time. The main thing here that I'm getting at, do not error. Do not error, right? Do not error. We have trained ourselves too much to error in these. All right, let's go again. Next question. So we have 4 over 5x plus 2 over 5x. We do have a common denominator here, which means that my final response will be over 5x. I'm adding. So it's going to be over 5x just the same. All right, so I'm looking at 6 over 5x. We're not stressing this because remember, if you're adding, like, let us say you're adding 2 over 10 plus 5 over 10, your answer will still be over 10. No stress, right? So we understand that with the same denominator, you keep it and add the numerator. So our answer is 5 over 6 over 5x. All right, let's look at this question. All right, so we wanna go through this. We wanna apply our distributive property. It's a little bit crowded there for me. I might just hold on. Let me go back for my slipper. All right, guys, give me 1 second, guys. 1 second. Oh, coming back. Hold on. All right, yeah, I'm back. So let me just snip this one question right here, along with the responses so that I could do what I gotta do right there. All right, so we're looking at this right here, right? So there it is. All right, so the next move is that what you want to do is you want to remember how you distribute. So this 5 will distribute there, then the same 5 will distribute there, the -3, and I'm saying, remember, this is not 3, this is a -3. It's going to distribute itself right there. The -3 will distribute there. So we're going to go through. I'm at the left, so 5 times x will give me 5x. 5 times y will give me plus 5y. -3 times x give me -3x. -3 times -y will give me +3y. Now my like terms are 5x, -3. We could see that we're getting a 2x there. And my other terms are +5, +3. So that's a +8y. So 2x plus 8y, the answer is D. All right, so it is just applying a simple distribution. Take your answer and you go 2x plus 8y. And there we go. Number 26. Number 26 says here, if x is -2, y is 3, and t is 2, then x over y raised to the t. I think I said this question again. So, all right, let's go for it. We're doing this. We're doing x over y, and we want to raise this to t. So x is -2 over y, and y is 3 in bracket, and t is square. So what does this mean? It means that the -2 will be squared. It means that the 3 will be squared. So I'm getting 4 over 9. There is no number that ever squared and becomes negative, so be careful. -2 squared is not just -4, it's never. All right, it's a +4. All right, there's never a time you square something and it is actually negative. It cannot happen. All right, so let's go. Well, Not at 6E level. We're not going to discuss the others. All right, so let's go. Next question. All right, so we're looking at 3x squared times 2x to the. So whenever you multiply, the numbers work themselves out. So 3 2s is 6. Now the issue is, how do you manipulate that? So the x will be there, but when you multiply the same letter, you actually add the power. So you're talking about raised to the 2, there's another x to the third, you add the power. So the powers of the x increases by addition, right? So we're looking for that. Our answer is A. All right, given that 2x plus 3y, 3x plus 3 is greater than or equal to 9, minus 3, 2x is greater than equal to 6. All we're doing, we're solving. So x is greater than or equal to 3. You're employing normal solve. So you look for your answer. There it is. Answer is D. Now, if 5x minus, I could put it here. If 5x minus 26 is equal to x plus 5, x plus 5. All right, so what we're gonna do here, so we'll have 5x. Collecting your x's on one side, so it's gonna be a negative x. I have 50. Collect the constants are just the numbers on the other side. This is negative, so it's become positive 26. 4x, yeah, is 76. Divide by 4, divide by 4. So apply yourself. 1, 3, 9. So x is 19. So this is just ordinary working out. Nothing special, nothing unique. There's nothing that we have been doing yet that, you know, needed anything more than the regular. As you can see, the main thing is to hold your nerves as you go. All right, let's go. The area of the rectangle in CM is x. We saw this question again some time ago. So we were saying that the area is x squared. Which of the following equation may be used to find a value for x? Apply yourself. Please understand that area of a rectangle is its length times its width. So the area is x squared. It's equal to the length times the width. You put it together, right? So the fact that I did it and I'm seeing A looking like what I got already, I'm done. Because that's the idea. We can solve the problem right there. But they didn't want a solution. They want to know if you understand how you would have solved it. This question came to 31. So I think it's -1 we got. Well, anyways, you have 3 plus 2 over x, and this should equal to 1. So there are diverse ways you could get this. You could try to get the x's to stay here first, and then migrate this 3 to the other side. So you know it's going to be like a -3, a -3. So looking at it, we have 2 over x, which is equal to -2. And you don't want to make any errors here. 1 minus 3 is a -2, right? So at this moment, you're asking yourself, there are 2 ways to do this. You can say 2 divided by what? Give me -2. And you would have said 2 divided by -1. Give me -2, because you need a -1, you still need 2. So you could say that, okay, x is -1. If you did not see that, to pick A, so let us say you're still here, you could do the regular. The regular, a shortcut, one of them is that the denominator exchange place with that. So you'll get 2 over -2 equal to x. So if I'm solving anything, like if I have a over b, let me put, give me a second, I give it an example. Let us say I have 5 over b equal to, I don't know, maybe 10. If I want to find b, the fact that the b is a part of the denominator, I could switch it with this. They could switch places. So 5 over 10 is equal to b. So it's the same thing I'm doing here. So 2 divided by -2 is -1, which is x. Just another approach to get your answer. Let's go to 32, I believe. Item 32 says the above figure not drawn to scale shows a sector of a circle O. The length of the minor arc PQ is 8. What would be the length of the circumference? Now, they're asking you some questions. So what you could do, this one came as well. So watch this. This paper is 2012. And yesterday we did 07. And you could see how many things from yesterday coming back right now. So you could see how it is important to do a lot of these questions so that you get so comfortable at times. You might do enough that you might see 40 questions come back, honestly. All right, so let's see. All right, so now we're saying that PQ is 8. And the way I did it, I was saying that there are a number of ways you could do it. You could find how many times 60 going to 360. And you would realize that it is 6 times. But for every time you get a 60, you get 8. So the answer could be that since 60 will go into 360 6 times, I'll get 6 times 8. So my answer is 48. So I'll see that already. Now, if I never saw that, I could try to create me. I could try to create me a quick circle. And in creating this circle, I could, try to split this up, because if I have a straight angle, that means I could get 63 times. That means I'm going to get 3 times down here also. So there are diverse ways, because at the center, one rotation should be 360. So then this will be 8 each time. Every time I get a 60, the circumference is 8. That arc length is 8. So I'll get it 6 times, which will give about the same answer. So it's up to you to exercise how you feel again. The volume of a cube, we got this as well. The edge is 6. So they want to know the volume. So I could do this again. I always draw it every time I get it. Same question. This one is the same number too, right? So what they're saying here is like, listen, what we got here is 6 and 6 and 6. Volume is the length times the width times the height. 6, 6, 36, and 36 times 6 again, 6, 18, and 21. So we're getting 216. All right, you execute your multiplication. I can't help you to multiply though. So if I go quickly with my multiplication, that's me. I don't have anything to help you with multiplying. Make sure that you know your little timetable. 34 says here that 250 millimeter expressed in meters. The relationship, we saw this Sunday, the relationship between millimeter to meter is that it takes 1,000 millimeter just to give you 1. All right, so for every 1,000 is 1. So if I have 2,500 millimeter, so I want to divide this by 1,000. All right, so if I divide this by 1,000, the decimal point will move into the left 1, 2, 3 times. So the answer is 2.5 right here. As you can see, these questions are quite simple. All you have to do is to focus as you go. Let's go again. Tom leaves town P at 600 hours and drives to town Q, which is 595 kilometers away. He arrives in town Q at 13 hours. All right, 13 hours the same day. All right, you want to understand what 6 means. 6 means 6 a.m. And this really means like 1 p.m. 13 is equivalent to 1 p.m. that same day. So it's like from the morning till that time. So you could check, all right? You could check. Now, average speed is total distance over total time. So we have the distance and you have the time. So you can find it. So average speed, just saying, generally speaking, is equal to my total distance divided by the total time, right, that it took. And we're talking about the distance is 595 over. So you could check this from 6 to 1, about 7 hours. So you're talking about 6 to 7, then to 8 to 9 to 10, 11, 12, 1. All right. So if you take the 6 from the 13, you get 7. So it is actually 7 hours. So you're dividing this by 7. So the average speed is to divide your thing there. And I'm seeing this, that's a nice number that they give you again, because 7 into 59, 7, 8, 56. So it's gonna go 8, remainder 3, and 7 into 35 goes 5. So you're looking for 85. So you could see you're traveling at 85 kilometers for every hour, generally speaking. Regular working out, but you still have to understand some little principles like, how do I find speed? It's distance over time. If you can't remember your formula for speed, look at the unit for speed, please. Let me just take the time to show you this. If you cannot remember the formula to find speed, the moment you find speed, you can find distance and time. So think about the speed of anything. Say it to yourself. You say, boy, they carry their move 100 meters per second. You're like, okay. Or you're saying the plane is flying at a speed of, you know what I mean, 325 kilometers per hour. So analyze the unit. The unit is giving a distance divided by time. There it is. Distance is meter divided by time. The slash means divide. The slash is a division. This is a division. That is a division. So technically the unit of speed or the unit of any quantity tells the formula for it, in a sense, if you know what the units mean. So meter is a distance and it's at the top, slash time, second is a time. This is what we're saying. That's average speed. So if I know then that speed is equal to distance over time, if they give me distance and speed, I can find time. If they give me distance and time, I can find speed. If they give me speed and time, I can find distance. So you're able to manipulate this to do what you want. I'm saying to you, connect with something. I think using speed is the easiest way to connect to the formula. If you don't remember it, speak a speed to yourself and you'll get out what's going on. All right, let's go back to our paper. All right, so we're at 36. 36, it says on leaving Trinidad, a pilot was, this is like 11 in the night, that's 11 p.m. All right, and arrived at his destination in the same time zone, 3 a.m. And this is regular 3 a.m. So you're talking 11 to 3. All right, how long did the flight take? You could see it's 4 hours. All right, so that's 11 to 3, straightforward. All right, 11 to 12 to 1 to 2 to 3. You could always check that even on your fingers, you could. 37. 50 guests were served 2 glasses of champagne. 50 guests were served 2 glasses of champagne. Each glass held 150 milliliters. We did not get this one. All right. So take your time to figure out what it is that you're going to do. Make note of important details. We're talking about 50 guests, very important. I'm going to write the 50 there because we don't want to drop any questions. All right. So 2 glasses, right? So each guest would have 2 glasses. We want to note that. And then it moved further. Each glass has this. So you're looking at the fact that each guest would actually have 300 milliliter. And you would have gotten that for the fact that 2 glasses each person has, and each glass has 150. So each guest would have 300, one in the left, one in the right hand. How many liters of champagne will be there? So in order to find, so this is still a conversion question. So we're dealing with milliliter to liter, all right? Yeah, and it takes 1,000 milliliter to give you 1 liter. So if I know how much milliliter I have, I'm good. We're talking about each guest having 300, and it's 50 of them. So you want to multiply 300 by 50. I believe you will get 15,000. So this is 15,000 milliliter because that's the amount of, alcohol that they have. And then now this is milliliter, you're going to have to divide it by 1,000 to change it back to what they want, which is liter. So the answer is 15. It's very straightforward, but they're leaning on ideas. For example, do you know how to convert? And these things will catch you. You need to know these little things. All right, these little things, how to move. And the moment you know those, then the rest is history. Let's continue. Which of the figure below, we saw this question came, not drawn to scale as the area as shown. So we're looking at the trapezium. And likewise, I'll do this one more time. For every trapezium, there's a particular, it has 2 parallel sides. It may not shape as how you have it there, but it has 2 parallel sides. So the idea is the parallel sides, let's call them A and B, and let's call the height H. Now, if I have 2 parallel sides, it's a trapezium. The formula says half the sum of the parallel sides. So I'm going to be adding the 2 parallel sides, find half of that, and then I multiply by H. So I'm looking for that because they're saying, listen, which one of these figures would this fit? So you're seeing the concept of a B here, half, and the height. So all you gotta do is just take a look. Just take a look at what's going on for that. All right, so let's go. So you scroll down and have a look. All right, so you're looking for one of them with 5 at the end. 5 on that side, because this is the only one that matches here. That's the 5 parallel sides. So this is set up as half the 3 plus the 4, and then times the 5. And that's what they have up there. So you pick that one because that's the one that is representing the area of the trapezium. The answer is B. All right, let's go to this top 39. Diagram 39 refers to that cylinder there is dealing with it. What do they want? The diagram is not drawn to scale, please take note. And then they're saying to us that show, all right, so they tell us, all right, so we're looking at the height, which is 8, and the radius. We want the volume. So you want to remind yourself of, how do I find the volume of a cylinder? The volume of a cylinder is always pi r square h. Now pi is pi. When you're doing multiple choice, I've never seen them wanting the value or anything like that. All right, so pi is pi. Notice the pi is in the answer, so don't try to use any value for it. So pi times r is 3, so it's 3 times 3 times 8. So 3 times 3, 9, 8, 72. This question comes already. So this is pi 72 which can be written as 72 with the pi at the back. That's how they represented it. So you pick that one and you go. The area of a triangle is 30 and its base is 10. What is the perpendicular height? In other words, the moment you're going to deal with the height of a triangle, perpendicular is a natural. So they're only saying that to throw you off. All right. So you have a triangle that you know the area. And this is the height. Height is always at right angle to the ground. All right. So you got the area and you got the base, which is 10. You got the area, which is 30. Remember the formula, set the formula up. We're talking about area is equal to half base times height. So my area is 30, half, my base is 10, and my height is what they're asking me for. So you could break this down from now. I could say 2 into itself 1, 2 into 10, 5. So you're looking at 30 equal to 5 times h. At this moment, you can mentally ask yourself, 5 times what? Give me 30. Most of you would say 6. Now, if you don't see that, what you could have done is to divide both sides by 5. So 5 into 30, 6. You must find a way to connect. The moment you connect, you're good to go. So 6 would have been the answer. It should be there. It's at the top. All right, let's go again. Now, so the height in centimeters of 10 students are as follows. All right, so they're asking for the range. What is the range? The range is simply your highest minus your lowest. So you're looking for numbers, you're looking for values. Take some time, make sure that you have the highest and the lowest. The highest number I'm seeing, it is in order. So it is a 170 minus the lowest, it's a 150. So my range is 20. So you pick this. So the range right there is 20. A bag contains 60 marbles of different colors, but similar in size and mass. The probability of the randomly select for randomly choosing a red is 512. How many red marbles does the bag contain? Nice way of putting the question. All right, let me snip this so I could just go to a better screen. I could write over there. Let's go for it. All right, so here goes. All right, so you're talking about looking at key things. For example, 60, we're dealing with red, and it's 5/12. Let's look. These red, can I use a red pen for red? I should. This red is 512. Now you wanna 512. So you wanna do this. How many red, right, are there out of 60? That's what they're saying right now. So they're saying to you, are you able to figure out what that is? Because the 512 you're looking at more likely was broken down to 512. So before, can you tell me how many red marbles are really in the bag? I'm saying set up what they give you, understand the total, and understand that what you're looking for is the missing part for the top. So you wanna look, can I find a relationship from 12 to 60? And your relationship is always a multiplication or a division. It's never addition or subtraction. So you want to think of what could be multiplied by 12 to get 60. Whatever you get is the same thing that will multiply by 5 to change it to that, whatever you get. So when you look carefully, if you know your timetable, you would say 5, 12, 5 is 60. Oh, that means 5, 5 will give me the number on top here. We're looking for 25. You could see easily that you could come up with getting 25 right there, right? So you set up the system and you look, all right? Or a more, if you don't know that, you could do this. You could say, all right, I have 5, right, for every 12. So it's like you could say 5 for 12, right? For every 12, there's 5. You could say, okay, I want to know when my 12 would reach 60. So you said plus 12, plus 12, plus 12, plus 12. So, and then you know that this is 60. So for every 12, you're thinking, okay, that there was a 5. Okay, this is another 5. Okay, this is another 5. Okay. And you realize that 5, 5 would give 25. I don't care how you want to see the idea, but you have to find a way to connect to it so that you are able to get what they want. The answer will be there, right? All right, let's go. So we said we would have picked 25. All right, let's go. 43, we saw this, the answer is 50. This one come a number of times. You could look up for it. All right, so they're saying item 43 refers to the following bar chart. The number of children that's on the, I want you to take note of important things. This is important to what we're doing. So you read the axis so that you know what is being said. Also, you want to read this axis as well. So we want to read the vertical and the horizontal axis, the X and the Y axis, to know what it is talking about so that we could respond. Let us see. All right. Oh, this is a different one because the other one was with age of students or student. So this is different. So it says the bar chart shows the number of books read by the children who took part in a survey. How many children took part in the survey? Listen, the question, how many children took part? So you want to understand what these mean because it is straightforward. This is saying some students read 4 books. Some read 5. How many read 4? 3. Only 3 students read 4. So that is 3 students, right? And we have 4 students that read 5 books. We have 2 students that read 6. We have 5 students that read 7. And we have 1 student that read 8. So 1 student that read 8. So don't let this trick you. 1 student read 8 books. That's fine. How many students? 1. So you want to add these up. This is 7 plus 2, 9, 9 and 1, 10 is 15. So it's a different question with the same answer. Because the other question was with the age and who have brothers or sisters, something. We still get 15. So I guess when they were making the question, somebody made one like it with the same answer. All right. 44. If the mean of 4 numbers, 4, 8, x, and 12 is 10, then x is what? Now you want to understand, let me show you. Let's look closely at the meaning of what we're dealing with. Now, the mean is an average. So we want to note that, hello, when you get mean, you're referring to an average, okay? So it's an average. Now, whenever you find an average, you're always going to say your average, which is your mean. Let me write back the word mean for you. So your mean is going to equal to the sum of whatever you're dealing with. And the word for sum is aggregate. So it's the sum divided by the number of things. That's the idea. So when you look at this formula, you can manipulate this to know many things, right? Now, check this out. They're saying that the mean of 4, you see, they told us mean of 4 things would be this, right? Say it's 10. The mean is 10, you know? The mean of blah, 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 blah is 10. So this is 10. 10, put 10 where the mean is. How many things? 4. I'm saying here that I'm just showing you an idea. So we're saying that the mean needs space. Hold on, guys. See there, the mean of 4 things is 10. 4 things, 10. The mean of what? This 12 plus 8 plus 4 plus x. Okay, of course I can find x. All I have to do is just to take my time and work. For example, let me write it up here. If we add these quickly, 24. All right, so let me just say this. This is equal to 10 is equal to 24 plus x over 4. How did I get it 24? 12 plus 8, 20 plus 4, 24 plus x. All right. Now take a look at this. Just solve for x. You're going to have to multiply by 4. All right. So then you're going to have 10 times 4 over here. When the 4 multiply here, it cancels. So you know it's gone. So you have 24 plus x. I'm just showing you the long row. So 40, take out 24 now. X is left alone, 16. So without even guessing or even trying to figure out, you set up what you learn. How do you find mean? Mean is to add up the things and divide by how many of them. Set it up the same way. The question cannot be worked out without having just one unknown. And the fact that they have one unknown is either they're going to let a number be the unknown from the sum, or like this case, or they let the mean be missing. That means they would have to give you everything and ask you to find the mean, or they would set the question, give you the mean, give you the sum, and ask you for how many things. It's up to them. But whatever they do, it will be rallied around this concept. The mean is the sum over how many things. So the moment you understand that, you are able to move forward, backward, and as you could see, the answers, we're not missing the answers. You know, it's not like when we work come down, we are wondering, okay, I can't find number 16. We will find it. All right, it will be there because we're not guessing the ideas. All right, let's go. 45 is up here. Similar to one I saw last night. It's not it, but very similar. Very similar. All right, it says item 45 refers to the following diagram. You're looking at the diagram. Could I just push this up? I think I need space. All right, let me take this question to somewhere where I could have a better hold of it. Give me a second. Let's just bring this to, all right. Let's take it down with the answer right there. All right, we're good. All right, so we can manipulate it now, right? I could put it over here. All right, big enough. All right, so here's the idea. So it says the pie chart above shows the preference in drinks of a group of students. If 12 students prefer chocolate, I'm gonna label. Oh, we saw this question. We saw this. 12, what they did, they switch around the thing, but it's still 12 with chocolate. I remember this now. And it's not this year. So 12 students with the chocolates, right? They're saying tell the total. There are a number of ways you could work this out. One way is to understand what angle is linked to 12. The angle that is linked, is Sunday we do this, but the angle that is linked to 12 is 60. How did I get 60? This is a straight line. So the fact that I know that this is 120, I will be able to take 120 from 180 to get the next angle to balance that straight line. So indirectly, I am now in the know that 60 degrees is 12. Now, when I have this information, since they want the total, right, I can do a number of things. Miss Scott had said that, hey, sir, if this is 60, then that means this is 24, because 120 double 60, that means the number of persons will double, and that is correct, which means that half of it is 36. You're seeing that 12 plus 24 is 36 for half. That means the next half is 36. So the total would be 72. You're seeing that, right? Now, if you did not see it from that angle, one of the ways in which you could do this is, so one of the ways that you could one of the ways that you could work this is to understand how many 360, how many 60 you could get over 360. And each time you get it, it's going to be a multiple of 12. You're going to multiply by 12, should say. So we're suggesting that 360, if you should divide this by 60, take a look. Zeros cancel, 6 into itself, 1, 6 into this, 6. So I'm suggesting that I'll see 60 6 times. I'm just showing you from a like vivid point of view. For every 60, it's 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12. So we're talking about 12 times 6, huh? And here is the 72, just the same. So whichever way you want to work this out, you will get 72, right? Another person might say, what if I want to say 60 over 360 times 12, right? 60 over 360 times 12. You would not get it, right? You would have to say 60 over 360 of an idea, right? Of an idea is 12. Now, remember I said to you, what did I say to you recently? I did say to you recently, if I have the fraction, all right, let me give you back the same thing that I said to you. If I have the fraction of an idea, so the fraction is going to be 60 out of the 360. If I have the fraction of the idea and I know what that fraction is equal to, if they want the total, I reciprocate. I said it earlier. So you could reciprocate this right now and said, oh, reciprocate the fraction, it becomes 360 over 60. Look if it's not these numbers we were using. So we're talking about 60 over 360 and multiply back by the number. You get the same answer. Because you will say this into this 1, this into this 6, 6 times 12, 72. So like when I'm doing these questions, honestly, I have so many options. I just go because you have like countless ways of getting there. So I'm suggesting that you get there on your terms. Just that everybody is starting to feel extremely confident now going into the exam, because confidence it plays a huge part in how you respond. All right. Knowing, like when I'm doing this, I feel like I know all the answers. So I'm not worried I might not get it. I know I'll get it. So you have to start feel that way because you're seeing it. All right, let's go again. It says the maximum point of y equal to, I think this is 4x minus x squared is what? Okay, so the maximum point, if you don't remember, I'll show you. I'll show you from the next board. I kind of like the next board more, but I like this one for writing. I think I write better over this board, but I have more tools over this one. All right, let's take a look. We'll talk about our maximum, right? Look for yourself. You could see it's 4, and if you don't see, if you're having a vision problem and you're not seeing, all you have to do is to mark it, take a ruler, mark it and go over there. See there? And look what number did it go to right there. So you could see it's going through your 4. It's going through your 4 right there. But when they say maximum point, you're also looking for a line that cuts the curve into 2 equal pieces. So you could look for yourself. This is the line that actually cuts the curve into 2 equal pieces, right? So it passes through number 2. So you wanna merge the idea that the point in reference is a combination of, so this point here is a combination of what? It's a combination of 2 on your x with 4 on your y. So that's what I mean by maximum point. Point, because they use the word point, you know, not just the maximum value, point. So it's 2 meeting 4 right here. Coordinate. You look for that, you pick it and you go. And for those persons now who are not reading their coordinates well, then you're gonna pick 4, 2 and get it wrong. And they put the wrong one at number. See, they put it at A. So if you don't know, you would have seen it so early. All right, let's continue rolling. This one came. This is a 0, -2 is the answer. We saw this like every time as well. So it says the straight line AB cuts the y-axis at, still the -2 there, but in terms of a point. And I'll say this that I always say, every y-intercept would have a 0 for the x with some value. Every single y-intercept. 48. Which of the following set is represented by the relation? And this is the same thing as just saying that x squared plus 3. X squared plus 3. So this is the same as just saying x squared plus 3, right? So here it is, x squared plus 3. You want to look, what you're going to be doing, you're going to be looking at, where is my board? Oh, I'm not on that board. You're going to be looking at your x values, and you want to see if you square it and then add 3, if it's going to get this. You're going to pick your x value, square it, add 3, and see if you get this. So let's go. Let us look at this one first. If I square 0 plus 3, when you square 0, you get 0. Add 3, you get 3. This is going good, right? This is start off good, that works. If I have 1, the next one, and I square it and add 3, I will get 4, because 1 times 1 is 1. Now, if I have 2, square it and add 3, I will get 7. So I have to check them all the way to the end, since I'm at number 1. And then number 3, square it plus 3, I should get 12. And we're seeing it. The answer is A. The moment I execute all of that, and it is correct for A, you don't need to check the rest. It's not correct for them. So this is how you maximize your time. You have already found the one answer, because it's one answer per question. So you keep going, right? Number 49. So the inequality above is defined by what? This question came already. And we're suggesting that when you get these questions, right? If they're gonna put the thing on the number line and do their notation, you have a unshaded circle versus a shaded circle. So when the circle is not shaded, the symbols are either that or that. When it is shaded, it's gonna be this one with a bar underneath it, or the other way with the bar. So the fact that we saw this, we know that we can't see any bar, no bar. So this is out, this is out, there's a bar. This is also out, there's a bar. That means the answer is D, because if I'm seeing 3 of them with bar and it's not shaded, I don't need to check. And that's what I'm saying with you guys. You could, when you know the concepts, you know what to eliminate. So elimination is very powerful. It cannot be this, cannot be that, cannot be that. And if it cannot be 3 out of the 4, I am not going to try to prove the 4th one. I'll just take it and go. Let's go to 50. 50. 50 says here that we have h of x is equal to 3x minus 2 over 5. And they wanted to find h of -6, which means you're going to substitute -6 where the x is. And what are you looking at? 3 times -6 is -18. Take 2 out of that, divide by 5. This is -20 over 5. This is -4. Try not to error, guys. As long as you're not making any error, you shall succeed. You will be on top. So be careful. All right, guys. 1 second. All right. Where it is, where I was at 51. All right, question 51 says, item 51 refers to the arrow diagram below, which shows a function. This one came again, like this one has been coming a lot. So the answer is x plus 3, because you're seeing where you add 3 to these numbers and you get the 1. If I add 3 to 2, I'll get 5. If I add 3 to 5, I'll get 8. And you could see if you keep adding. So you're adding 3, but you're not adding it to y. You understand? Look carefully, x. And another thing, if you don't see the letters, arrows move from x to y. Please remember this. The arrows only move from x to y. So what am I saying? I want you not just to swap these questions, because if they take the picture, the labels off, it is what we call a default ideal. If you see the arrows going this way, that way, that way, as long as it's a function, it means that x is here and y is here. Okay, the arrows move from x to y. If you see the arrows going this way, this way, this way, arrows. Moment is arrows in the function, x is here and y is there. Arrows tell where the x is. The arrows start at x and go towards y. So sometimes they will not put the arrow there. They will not put x or y there. You should know. All right. So look at this. They set this up to trick people. If you never understood that it's x plus 3 gonna give you the y. This is the answer. Because you could see that these are all x's. So be careful. 52. About traveling on a bearing of 270 degrees, in what direction was it traveling? You want to make sure that you remember these. So I'm going to be your memory for a minute. I'm going to say you drop this. You drop this. North is always at top. South is underneath. East is to the right. West is to the left. And all bearing is from the north. So the bearing is like, ta-da, going that way. All right. So you could see that you're going west, right? So we're not guessing. You understand? We're not wondering. There are ideas that are already set up long before you. You need to grab them, hold them close to your heart, and then you apply yourself to them as you go. If the sum of the interior angles of a polygon is 4 angles, we saw this last night, yesterday evening or morning, the polygon is a what? So we're saying that, hey, check it out. If the interior angles is 4, it's a quadrilateral. So if you have 4 angles only, you're dealing with a quadrilateral all the time. All right, item 54. This question comes a lot as well, right? In construction, I've only seen them send in the 60 degree. So this is the 60 degree angle. You look at it, look what it looks like. The moment you see it, it is 60. All right, so take note of it. All right, this one came as well. It says in the figure above the line CD is the image of AB. After what? All right, after rotation to what? So look at it. I'm seeing CB and AB. It's a reflection in this line right here. This is like the center of the idea. This line is the center. So I'm seeing that it's a reflection. Look at these. Look, right? You're seeing. Take a look. You're seeing that this is definitely a reflection in the y-axis, right? So we want to remember how the reflection treats the thing. So it's a reflection in the y-axis. Let's look, we're at 56. Isosceles is the key word here. And this side is equal to that side, which means that this is the angle that is different. If this is 40 though, this angle here is also 40. That means this one is 140 because You're gonna have your 180, you're gonna take away the sum of, it's 100, should say, hold on. You're gonna take away the sum of these, right? So it is 180 minus 80, and you're looking for 100. This is 100 degrees. All right, 57. If the image of a point P is -2 under translation 3, 4, this one comes a lot too. So the idea is, I'll write it again, object plus your translation, this is a general formula, will give an image. As long as I have the coordinates, I could work it like this. I'm gonna put the coordinate in a column vector form, that -2, 3, plus 3, 4, and then I'm gonna do matrices. -3, -2 plus 3 will give me a +1, and 3 plus 4 is 7. As a coordinate, I must write it as this, and here is the answer. So remember the general formula. Your object plus a translation produces the image. So you can operate like that using your coordinates and you're good. We're almost at the end. A ladder 5 meters is leaning against a vertical wall. The foot of the ladder is 3 meters away from the wall. How far up the wall is the ladder? All right, so here it is that we have a wall. All right, so I have a wall right there. All right, we have a wall. Here comes a ladder. And we are told that this ladder is 5 meters tall. When you talk about a vertical wall, they're telling you that there's a 90-degree here. This is 3. And you want to find how far up the wall. You want to find that green thing there. You can call it X. The hypotenuse is actually the 5. So you could say 5 square is equal to 3 square plus X square. And you would have 5, 5, 25. All right, so you'd have 25 minus the 9. 3 3's give me the 9. Bring it over, equal to X squared. All right, so we get 16. Take the square root of that, 4. Now, if you're a person that really knows, I'll say this to you, if you really know your math, there is a special right angle triangle that is a 3, 4, 5. So the moment the hypotenuse is 5, and I get any one of these sides, I automatically don't have to work it. So I never had to work this to get 4. All right. There's another one that they might use, and they use multiples of these as well. So I mean, 3, 4, 5. They could say 6, 8, 10. I could go countless, but I'm saying that they will give you numbers that can easily work out. But the real thing is this is the original. You could create more from that. Another one is a 5, 12, 13 as well. They could use this one as well. All right. So a lot of times the 3, 4, 5, 5, 12, 13. Those are special right angle triangles that you can just look. The moment I get certain sides, I'll move the next one without working. Whereas for a multiple choice exam. 59. All right. So we saw this one yesterday. So we have 2 angles in a triangle, and I'm going to do this again. If one is X and the other one is 2X, the third angle will be the sum of what you have from 180. So so the idea is 180 minus X plus 2X. So it's going to be 180 minus 3X, which is D. We're talking about understanding how to find the third angle when you're given 2 of a triangle. Now, item 60. All right, I probably have to take it to the next board for space. Let me cut this. All right, so the idea is that a boy stands 12 meters from the foot of a building and observe an angle of elevation from the top of the building. You're looking at the diagram, you're seeing what's going on. The height of the building is approximately what? All I want you to know the height of the building will be his height. And his height will be 1.6 right here. His height is up to here, yeah? Along with this that I'm gonna mark here. His height plus that. So what I'm gonna do is to find that, but they don't want the answer. What they want to know is if you know what to do. So if this 12 here will be the same 12 here. So I'm gonna find the opposite side when I have the adjacent side here. I'm gonna use tan. So the fact I'm gonna use tan, this is out, this is out. Matter of fact, I don't have to work it because this is the answer. Why? Because B and C are out because I'm gonna have to use tan. Because if I'm using soccer tower, I'm going to have to find the opposite. I was given the adjacent, so I know that it's tangent that I'm gonna use. And I have to eliminate this and this because those are not tangent. So I have two tangent, but I already would realize that the height of the building would include 1.6 because where the guy is seen from is like I'm gonna find from the top of the building to his line of sight at his eye level. So I need to add his height to get the height of the building. So we had established that. And then when I look at the responses, this cannot be the answer. So I'm not even going to employ any working. I'm just going to know that this is the answer. And this is how you do the multiple choice. It's not like we're saying you're going to have to work down things all the way down. The ideas are there. You're looking at them. You're applying yourself, and then you'll choose the answers that are appropriate in context. All right.